The mise en place for the poached chicken breast, we had to go ahead and cut them in half and remove the cartilage. I'm going to butter the pan to prepare it for the chicken breast. Now I'll be seasoning the chicken breast with salt and white pepper. Now I'll be placing the chicken breast in the pan. So now I'm going to go ahead and pour the wine, the chicken stock, thyme, bay leaves, and tarragon. There's the wine. I cut this piece of parchment paper in a circle to put inside the pan. Now I'm going to butter it as the recipe suggests. I'm going to place it right on top of the chicken breast. So now I'm doing the blanc roux with 1 ounce of butter and 1 ounce of flour. I don't set the butter inside the microwave, and I just added the flour, and now I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to get 4 fluid ounces of heavy cream. Measure it right here. So it's only 2. Luckily I have another one of these. Go ahead and add 2 more of this. Have this ready. Alright, now that the chicken is about done, I'm going to remove the parchment paper. I'm going to get each chicken breast and place them on this plate here. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to add the blanc roux to the mixture. And I'm also going to add the heavy cream. Now just mix and let everything simmer together. Alright, now that the sauce is done, the recipe does call for using a cheesecloth to strain the sauce, but I don't have that, so I'm going to use this strainer. I'm going to strain the sauce. Somehow. Anything is happening. Okay, it's working. Alright, up next I'm going to work on the glazed pearl onions. Side note, I despise onions with all my heart, so this should be fun. I bought these at Walmart and they came with easy peeling instructions, so I grabbed the pearl onions, put them in a pot to boil, then I'm going to rinse them off in cold water and just pop them out. Let's hope it's just as easy as it says. Now that the onions are done boiling, I'm going to put them into the iced water to soften them up. And now we wait. Just to cut off the tips and squeeze. Yum! Alright, now that I've cut the onions and taken off their skin, I'm going to get the butter, granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon, it says. Add it with the butter. Then we're going to cover the onions with just enough water, just not too much. And then I'm going to add the sugar and the butter to the pan. And let this all cook and simmer. And we should be good. now we're going to work on the classic rice pilaf. I have my olive oil and my clarified butter here, my pot. I'll let that in here so that it simmers and cooks a bit. Once that starts to cook, I'm going to add a bay leaf and the rice so that it's all coated in it, and then we'll add the boiling chicken stock. Alright, now that the butter and the oil have melted nicely, I'm going to add the rice. Stir it all there with the fat. Coat it nicely, as the recipe calls for. Okay, and now that that has been coated, I'm going to go ahead and pour the boiling stock. Let that cook some more. Stir it a little bit. Still have some leftover butter. Now we're going to season it with salt. Don't want it to be too salty, but just enough. Now we're going to cover this pot nice and tight. Alright, now that we've added all the ingredients together, we're going to put the rice, add it to the oven here. So that it cooks for the next 18 to 20 minutes. Alright, the rice should be done now. Let's double check on it. And it looks about ready to go. Let's bring that out here. Let's not make that mistake again. Let's go ahead and fluff this a bit. Looks fantastic. So let's just add it to the pan. I'm not sure why it's telling me to transfer it to a different pan, but I digress. There you go. Rice looks nice. Good to go. And I believe this is done. Yes, it says to remove the bay leaf and serve. Alright, now that the chicken is done and the sauce is done, we're going to coat it. And now that the glazed pearl onions are done, we're going to add some of these for my partner because I will not be eating this. So that's it. Now that the rice is done, we're going to add some rice as well to this plate. And there we have it. Voila. Please give me an A. One of the other materials I used to measure everything was this scale. And in addition to that, I just used a bunch of pots and frying pans and all your usual kitchen utensils. Nothing really out of this world. Alright, one of the main techniques that I used to cook all of this was through transfer and heat conduction. I was through transferring from pot to pan and pan to pot, and from stovetop to oven and vice versa. Some special considerations if I were to need to serve this for 100 guests would be a much bigger kitchen, a much bigger stovetop and oven for sure, to go ahead and cook all the chicken breasts and all of the glazed pearl onions, and bigger pots and pans to cook the rice as well, and just somewhere to store the items so that they're nice and warmed, instead of having to microwave each individual serving.